Okay, so let's get started. There we go. So welcome to the High Performance Manager Open Day. I'm Elena Kerrigan, Managing Director at Think Productive. Some of you, I recognise some names there in the list of attendees. And we have Dee. Dee, do you want to say who you are?
Hi, yeah, my name's Dee or Dion, and I work as Learning Success Manager. So I get to spend lots of time with our lovely clients, helping them match up to all our workshops and creating brilliant change for them.
Very nice. And we are here today to talk about this date. It's the 7th of September is the start date of the next High Performance Manager program, right? This is cohort 2. Cohort 1 actually completes tomorrow, don't they, Dee?
Yeah.
Because they've got their finale tomorrow. And yes, so this next one starts on the 7th of September and it runs for 3 months, running until early December. So it's a big chunk of time. Yeah, really special program, which it's been designed exclusively for people managers. And we're going to tell you all about it. And then towards the end of our 40 minutes or so, we'll open the floor to questions. You can write in the chat throughout, and there's the questions function, Q&A, which you can add specific questions to so that it's easier for us to find them later. But you can also chat and share anything in the chat throughout. So we are taking applications now for the program. There's only 20 leaders on each cohort. So you kind of, yeah, you need to kind of apply as soon as you can. And there are early bird tickets available until the 7th of August. Yep. And we'll be running through the pricing and everything later on so you can see what that looks like. Before we kind of jump into the program, I'm going to do a very quick summary of who we are, like who Think Productive is, because there might be a few of you here who are new to our special corner of the learning world. So I just want to do a very quick introduction to who we are. That's our logo, Think Productive. And we basically help people and organizations across the world to transform work for the better. We've got experts globally on the ground, upskilling your multilingual teams wherever they're based. And we do this through our workshops and keynotes, our thought leadership and blogs and articles and newsletters and podcasts and books. So many books. Our experts have written books on everything from productivity, meetings, email, struggle, nutrition, and even kindness in leadership. That's the next one that's going to come out next year. I'm very excited about that one. You might have heard of this one, Productivity, How to Be a Productivity Ninja. It was written by the founder of Think Productive, Graham Alcott. So we are the people behind that book and the Productivity Ninja, which it kind of has a bit of a cult following. It's definitely a business bestseller, and it's helped hundreds of thousands of people to work smarter, not harder, with that very productivity ninja mindset of like human, not superhero, that perfect marriage of productivity and well-being. And we've got, this is a little productivity ninja walking through a piece of paper, because we do things differently. We're not like other training companies. Like I'm not, I'm sure there are training companies out there that walk the talk, but we 100% walk the talk. That's it's one of our values. And so what this means is we lead with trust and kindness. We definitely lead with people first. We've had a 4-day week since 2011, so we're 4-day week pioneers, and we're quite famous for that. We're basically quite innovative and do things differently. So you are rubbing shoulders with the future of work here today. And don't worry if you don't have a 4-day week yet, don't worry. We won't be kind of pushing you towards that or anything, because our approach works for all organizational setups. It's universally applicable. And I'm sure these are just a few of our amazing clients, and they will all testify to our approach and how we do things differently. Yeah. I'm just going to take a few of the thousands of testimonials that talk about our approach and share them here with you. I'll read them out if I can. My whole team loved it. Been thinking about nothing else for the last 48 hours. Amazing. That's from the global head of marketing at HSBC. From the L&D manager at Boots. Think Productive have helped me leave a legacy here. Their team really do walk the talk. They fully embody their brand. And you can read all these when the recording's up on YouTube if you're interested, but they really do speak of our approach being different and how special we are. And one of the questions we've been asked by our clients over the years is like, how do we take this very engaged, human-centered, high-performance approach? How do we take that from beyond personal productivity and inboxes and meetings and take it to the kind of organizational level, to the culture level, to the leadership level, right? And this is how we do it. We've got a 3-level leadership management program series. Level 1 for emerging leaders, level 2 for experienced leaders, level 3 for the more C-suite strategic leaders. Okay. And you know, it doesn't matter what your level of or experience of leadership is. We all know that how you lead or how you're led work and how you work impacts everyone who works with you, right? And these programs are all about role modeling, you know, role modeling self-awareness, being human-centered, working in a sustainably productive way, not one where there's like tons of overwhelm, stress, frustration, you know, demotivating culture where people just want to leave. So this is about making your organization a better, more successful place for you to work in and for those around you as well. They're all 3 levels. They're kind of designed for the modern leader. They're very fresh and practical, and they've got our signature Productivity Ninja mindset running through them, and also kindful leadership, which we feel that these are the skills and qualities that are critical for the future of work. Yeah. Today we're here to talk about this program, level 1. I just want to check that everyone can hear okay. It's very quiet on the chat. Is everyone okay? Let me know if I'm going too quickly. All fine. Thanks, Alex. All good. Thank you very much. Okay, so we're here to talk about level 1. Look at that. I've said it's for emerging leaders, right? So what do we mean by emerging leaders? So maybe you're stepping into your first manager role, or an entrepreneur with a fast-growing team, or you've been in your role as a team leader, supervisor, manager for a while, but you want to supercharge your skills, you know, your personal and management skills to inspire brilliance in yourself and your team, right? This is what this level is all about. Basically, people are going to want to be on your team. You're going to be this high-performing team where you're driving higher levels of trust and psychological safety, kindness in business. It's honestly, trust me on this, resilience, engagement and retention, creativity and innovation. All these things are all interlinked. You know, when people feel trust or psychologically safe to kind of put their ideas forward or make mistakes, it creates a culture where there's more innovation and creativity. and engagement, and productivity and impact thinking, okay, where should I spend my time? Like thinking in that kind of boss mode. When all these things come together, you're looking at a culture of like less of the overwhelm, stress, staff turnover. You're looking at high performance organization formed of highly engaged people. Here is some data for what I'm talking about. There's like very strong evidence. I'm sure a lot of you here today are familiar with Gallup's meta-analysis, which they do regularly. They survey like 2.7 million employees across, oh God, how many industries? I've got it written down here somewhere. 49 industries across 73 countries. So it's like pretty much any industry that exists that's covered. And what they found is that regularly find this in their surveys. Organizations with highly engaged people have 10% higher customer loyalty, 18% higher productivity, 43% less staff turnover, and 23% higher profitability. So this is what I'm talking about. Over to you, Dee.
Thanks, Elena. So on this programme, you'll be introduced to our amazing subject matter experts, and they all carry with them their own distinct wisdom and experiences, and they'll take you through the fundamentals of good personal and team management. So this is the kind of stuff that you'll be mastering along the way. You'll understand your management style, how it impacts your team, and you'll discover lots of quick wins to propel them to really effective teamwork to get their jobs done together. You'll master how to role model real sustainable productivity and well-being and get lots of tips and tricks along the way. You'll master really empowering delegation skills. So instead of being a manager who is overloaded and burdened by responsibilities, you'll actually reclaim some of your really precious time and help your team as well, because you'll help create thinkers, motivated problem solvers. And you'll master how to give feedback. That can be really scary, but you'll master how to do that in a really kind way. So you'll be able to deliver feedback to your teams that develops and motivates and creates succession planning as well in your organization. And you'll learn about our definition of productivity. So you'll make space in your time, in your schedules for real high impact, high value work. You'll get control over your attention, how you prioritize and make space for what you need to do. Sounds good? We think so. So on this program, prior to the start date, all learners complete a self-evaluation questionnaire, and this measures their baseline skills right at the start. And then the survey is repeated at the end of 3 months, so you can measure the real life impact. So we wanted to give you a bit of a flavour today, and we'd like you to spend 3 minutes in the shoes of a programme participant who's right at the start of their journey. So in a moment, Elena's going to put the link in the chat, and we'd like you to spend just 3 minutes or so doing this questionnaire. It'll give you a chance to understand some of the competencies and skills that you'll be mastering along the way, and also thinking about whether it would be a good fit for you. So each question is scored between 1 and 7, and you'll get a sense for whether or not we can help you. So you complete the questionnaire. Your report will be emailed to you at the end, but check your junk mail because my test one went there. And on the actual program, participants will get a similar report, and it highlights their areas for development. And then at the end of the program, your impact report will measure up your confidence levels at the beginning and the end of the program. So I'm going to start the stopwatch. No worries if you don't finish it in exactly 3 minutes. You can always come back to it and finish it a little later on.
In the chat now.
Okay, so that's 3 minutes.
Are we doing for time, D?
Less than a minute left. Okay, that's 3 minutes. So don't worry if you haven't pressed submit yet. You can keep it open and submit it whenever you're ready. And hopefully that's given you a really good flavour about the key skills that you'll be learning along the way and channeling your inner ninja. So next up, I wanted to introduce you to our subject matter experts. So you might recognize some of these faces along the way. So first of all, we have Russell. Russell runs the Manager Role Masterclass, where you'll learn to understand your personal style as a manager and give you the confidence to try out new styles as well. Then there's Lee, and Lee leads our double module, Workload and Prioritization Management, where you'll learn how to avoid distractions, get your best work done, and do the impossible, make space for what matters. And then next we have Stephen. So Stephen will be teaching you and empowering you to delegate in our Delegate Like a Productivity Ninja Masterclass. And Grace will be taking you through giving expert feedback, all underpinned with kindness in our We Need to Talk session. And then Grace actually introduced, Hayley.
Yeah,
Thank you. Hayley introduces the program in our kickoff briefing. And then she comes back at the end to lead our Way of the Productivity Ninja Masterclass, where you'll learn the 9 characteristics of Productivity Ninja. So next, I want to share with you a little bit about the logistics. So firstly, it's a 3-month program, and you'll meet one of our subject matter experts weekly. The whole program is delivered online using Zoom, but don't worry, we use lots of breakout rooms and discussion and poll features, and it doesn't really feel like it's online at all. By the end of it,
isn't it?
Yeah,
2 hours session.
2 hours, yeah. It feels like you're all in the same space together, especially when you're seeing the same people each week. You build up that sense of community. So you'll be in a group with a max of 12 leaders. So the group size is big enough to feel really supported and network together.
Max 20, sorry. Minimum 12.
Oh, minimum 12, max 20. Thanks, Elena.
Yeah.
But it feels, it still feels intimate enough to chat and discuss and open up and share together. And most importantly, if you haven't written it down already, the start date is the 7th of September, with the finale on the 7th of December too. So a little bit about the elements. So the program starts off with a kickoff briefing, and that's an opportunity to meet Productivity Ninja Hayley and myself and the rest of your cohort. We just go through the structure, the key dates, the logistics and the goals of the program, and get everyone really excited and organized and ready to begin their journey. And then there are 6 masterclasses along the way. They're 2 hours each. And in each masterclass, you build on thinking and skills and all the knowledge gained in previous sessions, so that you can really embed and build on those new habits. A real plus point about our leadership program is the implementation clinics. So in between each masterclass, there is a clinic which is a little bit smaller than the masterclass. There's usually 5 or 6 participants in a clinic, and it's a chance with the same Productivity Ninja who delivered the last masterclass to just reflect and troubleshoot and celebrate what's gone well in the last week, but also come together to look at that even better if and just share really practical ideas to support each other.
And it's the
And
same,
then
it's the same people in the clinics every week, isn't it?
Yeah, so we try to keep it the same people. So if you're in clinic 1, you stay in clinic 1 so that you can build up that trust along the way with the people in your small, quite intimate clinic. And then at the end of the session is the program finale. So just before the finale, you'll fill in your questionnaire again, and you'll be sent that via email so you can see all the brilliant progress you've made. And then in the finale, we celebrate that progress. We come together and we look at the wins along the way. We laugh together and share together, and just really celebrate how everyone's moved forward. And we also talk about how we're going to make it stick. What are we going to do to keep the learning going and keep that impact? And we also, in the finale, talk about how we can stay in touch with each other as well, because by then the cohort is quite cemented and they want to stay in touch. So here on the next slide is just a picture of what it looks like together. So all this info is on the website, but you might want to take a screenshot of this just to cross-reference it with your diary. So you can see it's quite a big time commitment, but what you get out of it is definitely worth the time. You'll get the time back in all the time you've saved, right? Just being so productive and delegating really well and giving great feedback. So it's a brilliant investment of your time. So a question we have sometimes is, oh, what if I can't make 1 or 2 of the sessions? I'm on holiday. We do really try and encourage everyone to attend as many as possible, but we really do understand life happens. So we record all our workshops, and you'll have forever access to our Ninja Academy. So you'll be able to watch back recordings if you need to.
That's just the masterclasses, isn't it? Recorded. Yeah,
we do.
The clinics are kind of more confidential space, you know, where everyone can share. And
for sure,
not recorded. Yeah.
And then in terms of the support you'll get along the way, there's tons of it. So you have a community lead, which is me. So I'll be with you every step of the way. I'm in the kickoff, the finale, and all the workshops in between. I don't go to the coaching clinics because that's a space for you to reflect and be really open with your productivity ninja. But it's nice to know that during the program you have someone who is there for you and can soundboard and troubleshoot with you. So that's a real strength. Another super strength of the program is that participants learn from each other, particularly in a public workshop format. The group is made up of professionals across so many industries. So you get the benefit of sharing experiences and unique contexts. So you get that real sense of community, and that spills into a WhatsApp group that we create for you right at the start of the program. So participants can continue the conversations and reflections and sense of community learning, even outside the window of their workshops and clinics. And then during the program, all resources, recordings, and lots of bonus materials are stored in an online academy. And your access to the academy is actually lifelong. So you can refresh your learning whenever you need it, go back and have a look at the videos and the resources just to refresh and really make that stick. So that's a little bit about the logistics. So Elena, it's back to you now.
Yeah, thanks, Dee. I'm not sure if we've mentioned the weekly assignments. Do you want to say a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we have weekly challenges. So at the end of every masterclass and clinic, you'll set a challenge, and the challenge is always something practical. It's not a written challenge. So for example, after delegate like a productivity ninja, where you've learned brilliant tools to delegate really well. Your challenge is to delegate something you wouldn't normally have delegated using the principles of the session, and then in the clinic the following week be ready to kind of share how that went, the good, the bad and the ugly. So the challenges are a really good way to make that learning stick, and actually it's really nice on the WhatsApp group to kind of share with each other along the way how those challenges are going.
Yeah, it's great kind of built-in accountability, isn't it?
For sure.
Yeah. Okay, so, you know, as we've said, this program's going to supercharge those personal management, team management skills. By the end of the program, you're going to be equipped with specific and actionable ideas and strategies, which you will have already put into practice in those 3 months. So they'll be beginning to form as a habit. And you'll be inspiring self-awareness and brilliance in yourself and the people you manage, because all of this feeds into your culture, will be your team culture, or, you know, organizational culture. You know, if you have multiple leaders from one organization, you know, the multiplier effect is brilliant. Yes, these are the goals of the high performance manager. That's what you leave with. Your investment. So looking at the pricing, per leader pricing. Okay, so this is you know, your 3-month investment in your performance and growth, and in the positive, that multiplier effect on the people around you as well. So this is the price for per leader, 3,500 plus VAT, and that's all in. It includes all the resources, lifelong resources, the group implementation clinics, those group coaching sessions, the master classes, everything, the kind of support that you get throughout. We also have 4 small, medium-sized businesses, organizations with 150 people or less in their organization. If you are in one of those organizations, you qualify for our discounted rate, and that also goes to that also applies to public sector and charities, irrespective of how many employees they have. And we also have the early bird, like I mentioned before, that expires on the 7th of August. The price is £3,000 plus VAT, and that's for any organizational size. For in-house, as we said, like we do run these programs in-house. The pricing is the same, but after a certain number of leaders in the cohort, then we reduce the pricing. So there's kind of big group discounts, and obviously then when it is run in-house, you have the kind of value and the high engagement impact ripple effect throughout the wider organization, and there's other stuff kind of thrown in as well through, like, you know, the client services support and learning success support throughout, with like debriefs with the client booker and lots of other kind of scheduling. It can happen when you need it to, you know. With the public programs, they run, I've seen a question from Jennifer there, like this one runs on a Thursday. Unfortunately, she can't make Thursdays. That is the difficulty with public programs. You know, unfortunately, we can't move it about. Next time we run this particular program is it autumn? Actually, it's coming up. I think it's autumn of next year. So yeah, if we get like a big waiting list for this one, we might kind of add another cohort. It's possible if we get like a high demand that we can maybe run another one sometime next year, but at the moment they're planned to happen once a year for the public ones. So are you serious about creating positive change? That's the question. If the answer is yes, you can apply. There is an application process. That's if you could can you paste the link in, Dee? Thank you.
Yeah.
So there's only 20 spaces on the cohort, and we're looking for leaders in this application process. We're looking for leaders who really want to fully commit to the program. So we simply ask about your role, whether you currently manage or are aspiring to manage people, what you hope to gain, and really if you're ready to commit to this 3-month program, like weekly, 2-hour masterclasses, and then implementation clinics. How long are they, Dee? Is it an hour?
1 hour, yeah.
Yeah. So that's, in between you get your weekly implementation and you get weekly assignments, because we want you to be doing that self-led real life practice, put it into practice, make it a reality, right? So we, the application page is open, and yeah, the link is on the chat. Just in case you can't make this next one, this is the pipeline. So yeah, September 2024 is the next time we're planning to run this level 1 as a public program. Obviously in-house that's different. If you come to us with a quarter or that you're interested in running it in, we can organize dates and days of the week and all that sort of stuff. Level 2, April 2024, so that's next spring for level 2. And I know some of the level 1 cohort are looking to have got their eyes on that. And then the visionary leader level 3, January of the following year. Got a question there from Lindsay. Yes, you can go straight to level 2 or 3 without doing 1. Absolutely. There's, yeah, and you can see what the different topics are on our website. Dee, are you all right sharing the in-house page? Because I think on that one you can drill down into each of the levels and it shows you what all the different learning topics are for each one. Yeah, so if you're hungry for growth now, get your skates on. We're going to open the floor to questions. I just wanted to leave you with a quick testimonial from one of our cohort 1 leaders who's completing tomorrow.
Yay.
He's already sent some feedback, Anna. I feel much more in control of my day-to-day, both personally and professionally. My confidence in delegating and delivering feedback to my team, particularly in difficult scenarios, has also improved a lot. Yeah. I'm gonna stop the share and open the floor to questions. Dee, is there anything that you wanted to add about actually cohort 1, because you've been on that?
Yeah, I think something in Anna's testimonial really made me think, oh, that's a really lovely thing. She said that it's had a big effect on her personal and professional, and I think that's something we don't shy away from in all our workshops. When we're talking about productivity, we merge the professional with the personal as well. We put the human first, and that really comes through, and it's lovely that came through Anna's testimonial as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we don't, just to clarify, we don't encourage work bleeding into home life.
No.
Yeah.
But the way we teach you to balance your attention and get stuff done can really be applied at home as well. And by feeling calm at home, feel calm at work, and vice versa.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
It's really,
you bring your best self to work, but then you take your best self home again, because like when you're stressed, you're not the best person to be around. Not you, just
I think that's why the participants certainly raise that, because it's good stuff for everyone.
Around boundaries, saying no to stuff, and without the guilt, and and kind of role modeling that for the people who work for you as well. It's really important for them to know that they've got permission to say no and to ask questions like, when do you need this by, and what do I need to let go of to make this happen? And Yeah.
Yeah. I had a sneak peek at the surveys and the questionnaires that are coming in ready for tomorrow's finale, and it's just lovely to see the growth and not only the skills levels but the confidence levels as well of learners who, you know, at the beginning of the course were like a 2 or 3 in their confidence delegating, and actually now are delegating in a much more confident way and using all the skills they've learned.
Fabulous. Did we have any questions in the Q&A? No, we don't. Okay. What else? Is there anything in the last 2 minutes? Any other questions? You get a certification at the end if you complete all your masterclasses and implementation clinics. Anything else? If you think of any questions after this, just send them in. You should put your email address in here, Dee.
Yeah.
I'll put mine in as well. Although I am going on holiday on Friday.
Well, we've had a nice question from Jennifer as well.
Oh, yeah.
Is this aimed at aspiring managers or current managers? I don't have anyone to delegate to! Exclamation mark. Yeah, for sure. I think it's definitely aimed at both. And even if there's one workshop like delegate where you think, oh, that doesn't apply to me, it might do because that's a role you're building towards, and it might be that that's the role you want, so you're getting the skills in early. But also delegation doesn't have to just be someone you line manage. I don't line manage anyone either, but there are things that I ask other people to do, and that can make you a little bit nervous, especially actually if you're not their line manager as well. So I would say definitely from being in that workshop, we all have to ask people to do things, and definitely that can lead to some nervousness. So the workshop is a brilliant solution to that.
Yeah, that's so true. And also outside of the workplace as well, you know, be it on the PTA or, you know, if you have a family or, you know, there's just, I'm thinking of so many examples where I delegate outside of work, and yeah, it's definitely a useful skill in life. Cool.
And the other thing I was going to say, you learn by learning how to delegate effectively and understanding what that looks like. You suddenly start to notice when someone doesn't delegate to you effectively. So it makes you a better team player, because actually you might go back and say, do you know what, that thing you've asked me to do, can you just give me a little bit more information around the resources available for me, the purpose of the task? So it just makes you a little bit more aware, and you might question how you're being delegated to as well.
So true. Yeah. Okay, well, we've reached the end of the time. This recording will be on the website, on the Leadership Management Apply page, actually, and on YouTube, on our channel. So you can share it if you want to share it with a budget holder or someone you think would benefit from the program. So could be even someone you know outside of work. Thank you for coming today. Lovely to see all those names there, and still there at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Alex. Have a lovely rest of the week. Take care.
Bye, guys.
Okay. So any more questions, just send them in on the email. The recording should be up in a couple of days, a day or so. I'm going to stop the recording.